Hello friends, I'm very hungry right now and it's midnight 3 o'clock and I'm not asking you all just work, sometimes you can eat also. So today at 3 a.m. I felt hungry and I'm eating something. So now today's topic which I'm going to start is going to be very interesting. After my number one is, I hope you remember, it's memory. Second one is teenage. The third one is exploration. The fourth is professionalism, and the fifth one, what I'm going to start today, is going to be the cover page. This is one part of my studio again. The other day I showed one part. This is another part of my video. This is where I do my creative work again. You can just see around. So now I'm going to work out here. This is my position of work. So this is my small library setup. This is the place I would like to show my artwork, what I'm going to do today. So simply the topic of cover page, what I'm going to start off is this. Now this is my library and I've got some 500 books around me, right from the bottom part to all this part, Each and every book which I picked is because of the cover page. Now for example, if I want to pick up this book from the library, I saw the cover page. Now the cover page itself explains what exactly the content is going to be inside. Sometimes, like you see, the cover page looks very dramatic, very graphical stuff. But when I open up, you can see it's not as impressive as the cover page it is. But like why I picked this book is the content is good. Not necessarily every time the picture will speak. Sometimes the contents also are important. Coming back to the cover page, now what I see is that it's entirely an illustration book and I picked this book because of the cover page. So today also what I'm going to have a session with you is that after all the scrapbook job what you have done, now you need to have a cover page presentation also. How you develop a cover page, and I'll tell you, it could be anything. It could be a doctor cover page, or it could be a magazine cover page, or it could be a movie cover page. We sell our work through our cover page, and one of the most magnificent subject this is. Like for example, now check this. The color combination, how it is balanced, the calligraphy, the typography, the way the picture has been clicked, what makes a person to buy this book. So if you understand by now, this is the most important subject in whatever we have done till now. Whatever we have done is an internal decoration, like for example memory or whatever it could be, but this is going to support your entire book. Now if you want to divide all your work inside, for example memory and teenage and whatever you want to put inside, and then you want to name this cover page, I'm fine with it. Or individually you want to name the cover page with any of the topic, I'm fine with that also. So right, getting to this cover page topic, now I'm going to start to demonstrate a small artwork on a cover page. It is 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm loving the reason why I'm awake at 4 o'clock is that I get several calls from everyone, like some parents are very happy and they give me a compliment. Thank you Anil, because of you my kids have literally stopped watching TikTok or some video games and they're paying attention to whatever I'm doing. Some of the students who are just aged of 14, 15 and all, they're doing wonderful job and I'm literally loving the way they're working. The more work I'm getting from my students, my energy is getting more and more. And yes, it's not necessary every time I need to be connected. Sometimes you also can be connected. So if you don't mind, I'm going to have 2 more spoons of my food. So it is going to give me some energy. Meantime, if you want to ask something, you can ask. Not right now in my classroom video. So now you can see this. Most of the things I try to borrow from my house. Me being a South Indian, this is how we prepare idli. So I brought this so I could use as a palette because nowadays we don't eat idli and all. Now we are very Western stuff, you know. We eat pizza, burger and all. We don't eat idli. I'm just joking, okay? Idli is my life. That is the reason I wanted to make this also as a palette. So I'm going to show some artwork. Like for example, check this. Now this book, okay? You saw this cover? I just love this. I just love this, you know. The cover is so beautiful. The way the designer has worked. Check this. Making a cover page also is an art. If you just want to be a designer of making a cover page, I'll bet on you, you can simply live a wonderful life. Sometimes, you know, try to live on the ground, it is beautiful. People have this wrong conception, if I am a designer, I need to be somewhere there. The concept is absolutely wrong. Be down, it's happy. Check this. Someone has done this and today this man rocks the world in cover page. You can type his name and see the best cover page designers, and you see people are just working cover page designers. And these are all small things which you need to pick your specialization. Designer means it's not every time you need to go for the entire garment or entire making the interior stuff of a house. No, not required. You could just be a small design on a doorbell. It could be a small nameplate also. It's enough. How you present and how you design is the entire artwork. I did the drawings out here. I did the drawings. I did the calligraphy on it. The memory of my past. Like I was writing all the subjects on this part. You can see this drawings what I've done. You can see this. You can see this small work which I've left out here, you know. And ultimately then this is the cover page which is already there. So I couldn't do much on this because already I borrowed this. So there's nothing to do on this. But now, coming back, some things like you see, I use my calligraphy text on this. I use this chisel marker. Last time also I showed some chisel marker which is out here. These are some other stuff which I've used. I've used this one to write. So this is the pens which I've used to write this. So I'll be showing the similar calligraphy work out here also, so you'll understand how to make a cover page. Sometimes you can just leave the cover page the way it is. You can just leave the way it is. Sometimes you can decorate it. Sometimes you can change the entire way of it. So now I'm going to show some presentation. So I'm going to start off with this, a cover page for my travel, for my exploration. Now if you go to see, this is my book. Now this is the scrapbook which I'm working on, and this is all related to my exploration stuff. You can see the pictures out here, all picture photographs, the drawings which I have done, the way I've written the calligraphy, everything is simply mentioned out here. So what I'll be doing is that now when I have this cover page in front of me, I would like to keep this globe out here, but like I see there are lots of other things which is not required for me. So what I do is that I cut this off. I cut this off, and I'm initially what I do is that I don't get into final lay plannings. I'll just put it out here, and might be I'll just put this out here. Okay, now if I don't need this, what I'll do is that I'll just cover this up and I'll just get this out here. Okay, I'll get this out here, and might be I'll have this in front of it. So when I'm doing this part, so I'm just trying to see if this cover page is enough for me, or should I go for the main content of my stuff. Now even if I don't want to keep in the center, I can just pull it up and get on the upper side. But like if I want to start from the center, because this is my main focus, so I can just add some of the calligraphy which makes some sense. So now coming back out here, this is my scrapbook, so I have some cautionary rounds on it. So now this is the photography stuff, so I write photographs out here. Now my passion towards making this scrapbook is this. Now then coming back, you know, so these are all the small collections which I worked on. So now if you see, more of blues are coming out here, and down it is getting little dull. So I always need to manage, like my way of balancing of work is more important. So I get this out here, so I don't want to show too much of black, so I might cover this out, you know. So likewise I'm going to make my work go on. I'll put on laps. As you saw, the initial adjustment how I was trying to do it. Keep it very light as much as you could do it. Don't jumble up too much and spoil the essence of your entire book. Now I'm showing the second work, how we are going to use an easy method. I'm going to use a print or a picture from a magazine, and I'm going to make a cover page out of this. You can just pay attention out here. And I do doodlings in this, you know. so doodling and some of my harsh dark drawings on this. So I'll show how you need to make a simple cover page which will talk everything about your artwork. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this part out here. These are all my drawings. So I just need to choose what I want for my particular stuff. So I've chosen this. So before that, what I do is that I just start giving a look to this book. So I'm just going to wipe it off. Using a calligraphy pen, I can just write my book. This could be the one if you want to write, but I don't want to use this as a spot. So what I do is when I keep this out here itself, I turn the page, and this is again a drawing which I have done. So I would just leave this as one of the book, and I use my white color to write on this. Or like what I do is then I just cut this. So this also could be a small cover page. The only thing is that like you can refer from Pinterest and all, but get your original idea, which I would love, So like I did everything in front of you. So this is my original, which has come right from the magazines and the artwork which I created using all my chalks and all. So I expect you also to do some sort of work like this to create your cover page. After this, I'll show you one more easy method of cover page, little bit of crafting utilized in it. I hope after that like the session becomes easy for you to understand what exactly a cover page has to be done. Before I start this, I would like to tell a small story. Like these are all the pages when I had fracture on my right hand, and I got very freaked out. I thought I might never draw because I was in a very bad shape, and that is a time like this all left hand drawings I have done. And the best part is that this was the time like when I did this. This is like one of the era which I did this, you can say. This is all using my left hand and taking the sketch pen. I have done this drawing. So I'll show with this also how you can make a simple scrapbook. Simple. Like for example, if I want to learn artwork or a portrait, I can just cut this off from my scrapbook and I make a scrapbook out of it. Okay, let me show here itself. Why to waste time? I'll show out here. I just keep the square the way it is. Can you give me the bigger book? Okay, I can take this bigger book out here. Now this is again a back cover of it. So I just want this out here. So I just fix it out here. This is all my scrapbook, all my scrapbooks. All of a sudden there's a leakage. I think so. one method of a idea which I show. Now if you want to get more into a style of this work, then I can definitely add a chance to this also. Like for example, so if this is the cover page which is lying in any of the art book, and it shows like, now when we open up this content, it's not necessarily everything has to relate it to the borders itself, but it explains it could be just a micro tip artwork with whatever you want to do inside this. So it's a drawing book, so you can just leave it as a drawing or an artwork which is created. It could be just simple as it is. Okay, moving further towards that, I'm going to take another one which I told you is this. I'm going to make an artwork on this. So let me clear up. Always, like whenever you're doing, now see that your surroundings is always clear, but I like to work in chunk work, you know. So like, but I would like to clear this. So I'm just going to dump this out here. So check this also. Sometime back I had done for one of the work to have a cover page. You can just look into this also, how I've added some of my artwork and all. So this is again a scrapbook cover page itself. So you can just take some of the ideas. Now this I'm going to paste on one of the book cover, and that is how it is going to be a cover page for that particular stuff. Now coming back to is that it's not necessarily every time you need to draw and write. No, you can use your own ideas, you can get it printed. In today's time you get all this stuff, but initially if you have an idea of your handwork, it will always help you. That's what I want. It is fine to have lots of artwork in whatever you are trying to do, but when you have to present, then you do not need to do so much of crafting above it. You know, you can just leave it like this. You know, sometimes you can arrange your work with a bold color of calligraphy and then writing the details, how much of it is required. This becomes easy. That is the reason I showed some of the books also which connects to the work. Sometimes only the text matters. You need to have all the time drawings. Sometimes few photographs are fine. So as I showed you in my initial stuff also, the cover pages, these are all professional books where the designs are limited and the concepts are clear, so it becomes easy to sell. But when you are at a learning process, it's always good for you as a student. You can always emerge with some of the craft work which I showed out here. Present this as my work. So I can simply have this cut off of top here, and I can just make a nice text out here if it is required, or I can just fold it more, and how much ever I require, I can get it out here and fix it out here in the center. So this explains the entire stuff. Then I can get some of my illustrations with it and I can add with it. So what happens is overall my cover page is going to get into a crafting way and an artistic way. So it shows as a book which I'm selling. Like for example, see some of my illustrations. So these are all small crafting or rough work, whatever you have done initially, you can just get it and put it on your scrapbook cover. But the sources are just lying around. You can just gather them and put your ideas on the cover page, and simply it looks good. But be clear with the concepts outside as well as inside also. The concept should be strong, the content inside the book also should be strong. So I guess you have understood with my cover page story, and I expect you to come up with some great ideas related to your own subjects. Thank you.